Along with Dan Murphy, we're glad to have you along. And Jeff Atkins has been along now. This is his fourth straight week. He finished second the first 2 weeks he was here, and then last week he exploded with a huge 283. So he's looking to keep it rolling here today.
That's right. He said, I'm not going to wait till the last box this week. And last week he did. He just came out firing, and he won by a lot.
All right, let's meet our four bowlers. Again, individual competition here on Candlepin Skins. The four bowlers you'll be seeing on this afternoon's show are two returning bowlers from Springfield, Massachusetts, Jeff Atkins, and from Drake at Mass, Dave Purcell.
Okay, Jeff comes in averaging 132, and Dave is at 122.
And Dave, of course, finished second a week ago, second to Jeff Atkins, and that gives him the right to return and earn more money this week here on Candlepin Skins. That's how it works. The top two in total pinfall return from week to week to continue their streak. Now, our two incoming bowlers this week come to us from the Middlesex area roll-off in Massachusetts, from Stoneham, Rich Lotti, and from Waltham, Mass, Mike Giusti.
Okay, and Rich, as you know, won 9 weeks in a row several years ago, and that was only topped by Tom Morgan this year. He comes in averaging 121, and Mike is at 118.
All right, so there you have it, our lineup of four bowlers for this afternoon's show here on Candlepin Skins, and we'll be telling you, of course, a little bit more about the prize money a little bit later on, but let's remind you of the rules for Candlepin Skins. Our four bowlers do compete individually in this competition, one box at a time. We bowl a total of 2 games here on Candlepin Skins, and here's how it works. In each box, there is a dollar value assigned. That's the skin. The high score in each box wins the dollar amount or the skin. Now, if there is a tie for the high score in a box, then the money and the dollar amount carries over. That way the money adds up and it gets a little bit more interesting. And as I already mentioned, the top two in total pinfall come back week to week with a chance to earn yet more money. The first 3 boxes in each game, $20. The next 3 worth $25. Boxes 7, 8, and 9 are worth $30 each. And then our big 10th box in each game worth $75. Again, 2 games, total pinfall determining who returns week to week, and of course the skins element as well to determine who wins the big prize money from week to week. Our 4 bowlers are ready to go, and we will be back with the first game of our match when we return. Don't go away.
There is power in a dream, and every hour a dreamer is born. Just imagine the friends we made, the lives we touched, the glory days. 10 years of dreams. 10 years of dreams. 10 years of dreams come true.
The Coca-Cola Red Crew is looking for you. If they catch you in store, at your home, or where you play, you win. Up to 200,000 winners, some of whom will do a little time at Club Med. Get caught red-handed from Coca-Cola Classic. Peekaboo, we're out to catch you.
Hey, how's your checkup?
Fine.
Really?
Yeah, the heart's good.
And your cholesterol?
Good. You know, the doctor said the healthy diet is paying off.
See? You better keep eating those Cheerios.
As part of a heart-healthy diet, the FDA says soluble fiber from whole grain oat foods like Cheerios may reduce the risk of heart disease. Cheerios is the only leading ready-to-eat cereal that meets this FDA standard.
I always knew you had a good heart. You do? That's why I married you.
I thought you married me because I was good looking.
The one and only Cheerios.
Candlepin Skins is brought to you in part by Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan.
Welcome back to Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill, another edition of Candlepin Skins. The Middlesex area roll-off in Massachusetts held at the Melrose Bowl. And Rich Lotti and Mike Giusti are 2 qualifiers with the 2 high scores. And Rich Lotti nearly lapping the field down with that 707. 49 pins ahead of second place Mike Giusti. Ron Stockton third. Sal Dorico 4th, John Winchell 5th. Some of the guys who finished just out of the running. So Rich and Mike are here and ready to go. Mike Giusti on your left, Rich Lotti on your right. And we are underway. Mike Giusti was with us earlier this year here on Candlepin Skins back in November. Rich Lotti had a great run for himself, as Dan mentioned at the top of the show, back in the early days of Candlepin Skins.
Yeah, I said a couple of years ago I was only guessing, but it has to be probably at least that. And that stood for a long time until, of course, Tommy Morgan this season ran 13 weeks in a row.
Well, we have our research staff working on that, so we'll have the exact dates sometime during the hour.
And Mike grabs a 9 and Rich 8. So
a $20 skin here in the first box, and looking wide open right now as Dave Purcell and Jeff Atkins step to the line. Dave Purcell right in the pocket, and he'll have a spare leave.
yeah, that being the 6 and the 9. Piece of wood in between the 6-9, plus another one way out in front. And Jeff Atkins full on the head pin, and I would say that if Dave can get the spare, he's got a chance of winning the skin. There's the spare. Jeff would have to convert this.
And this is pretty ugly. Oh, great effort.
Hang on.
What a shot. Oh, my.
So first skin goes to Dave Purcell.
Jeff Atkins had a huge first game a week ago. If you missed it, a 162 on his way to a 283 and a first place finish, and he almost started with a spectacular one here.
Right there, trips the 5-pin and grabs the 6, but not quite the 10.
Still a pretty impressive 10 bucks nonetheless. Rich Lotti getting a good mix, but leaving the 2 and the 7. Mike Giusti throws very hard. Oh, nice spare. Rich Lotti.
Oh, boy.
And no for Mike.
3, 5, and 6 triangle, and he's on the object pin, but he just drove the 3-pin straight back in between the 5 and the 6, and he'll take a 9. So a spare is up for this second skin,
which is also worth $20 here in box number 2.
half Worcester left for Jeff. Lofted that ball, held onto it just a fraction of a second too long, and pulled it left. Well, it's going to take a shot to create a carryover.
Wow. Looking pretty good for Rich Lotti right now. And he will take the skin. Dave Purcell, after that 5 fill on his spare, hoping to get out of this box, but he'll have to take a 6 as Jeff Atkins counters with just a 7, and Rich Lotti takes the skin. And Rich will also take the early lead in the match probably when he fills that spare. Mike Giusti looking for his first mark. Big first ball that time. Here's Rich now on the spare with 8 to take the lead.
And Mike's going to try to get 3 and 5 pins for a spare. He does that.
Yes. So a couple of spares up now. It'll take a strike to win the skin outright this time.
I could mention a long-time watcher of all the Candlepin bowling shows that have been on television, and that's Dave's father, Raymond Purcell Sr. from Lowell. And Dave was telling me all the bowling shows that he used to watch, and the scary part of it is I remember every single one of them. So, Ray, keep on watching up there in Lowell, Massachusetts.
No spare for Dave. Jeff Atkins got a scare at a strike, but winds up with this unusual leave as the 2-pin had moved off the spot, but he's able to convert it with the 8. So 3 spares up. We'll have a carryover. Our first of the day. Dave Purcell settles for an 8. So that makes the 4th box worth $45. And here's another look at Jeff Atkins' spare.
Yeah, he's got the 2-pin and the 8-pin. Took a while and some help to come back for the 8, but 3 out of the 4 bowlers post spares. Rich Lotti will fill his.
No, Rich lost that one a little bit. Just 4. Mike Giusti on his spare, and he'll take 5. Oh, and Mike converts for his 2nd spare in a row. Rich Lotti takes a 7. Another look at the spare of Mike Giusti.
4 horsemen plus the 9-pin. Just tripping that 10. 2 marks in a row for Mike. There's you see the scoreboard. And Jeff Atkins will be filling a spare in the 3rd. Spare up for the skin, which is a carryover.
Worth $45. Jeff Atkins working on a spare. Got that ball to slide back into the pocket. Just a 6 fill, though. Dave Purcell. Oh, great pocket hit for the skin. First strike of the day for any of our bowlers. And it's worth $45, but Jeff Atkins has another spare. What a great shot that was. Another look at the strike, the skin winning strike by Dave Purcell.
Okay, just a little trouble with the 4-pin, but they all went down and grabs both of those skins. Mike filling out a spare. A little bit left. He's going to take 5.
His 5th box worth $25. And a
big
strike
strike
for Rich Lotti. Oh, wow. And Mike can't convert that one. And the 10. So a 58 half for Mike Giusti, and this strike for Rich Lotti in the 5th.
Ball breaks a little bit from right to left, right into the 1-3 pocket. 4 and 8 pins, the last 2 to go for the strike. Now Dave Purcell working on a strike. And we can only have a carryover this time, or Rich is going to win it outright.
Dave wanted to hit the head pin with that shot, give himself a chance at a double, and he pulled it. Might have gotten a little too fired up for that shot.
Jeff could bid for the strike, but give it to Rich Lotti.
Jeff does get the break, though, kicking out the extra pin and leaving himself with a shot at another spare. That's a 7 fill for Dave on his strike. Oh, and Jeff cannot convert. So Rich Lotti and Dave Purcell have won all the skins so far. And at the moment, Jeff Atkins has the lead at 61 through 5, but this thing is very close. Mike Giusti at 58, Dave Purcell at 54, Rich Lotti with a strike up, and he'll be working on that strike when we come back to Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill.
In order to meet aggressive fiscal year-end sales objectives by April 1st, Nissan is diverting additional vehicle shipments to all Northeast ports of entry. To ensure these additional vehicles are sold by April 1st, Nissan will be offering direct to the customer special $1,000 cashback incentives on all new 1997 and 97.5 Altimas, 1997 Maximas, Sentras, Pathfinders, and Quests in stock. These additional vehicles are arriving at our ports daily, but must be sold and delivered prior to our April 1st fiscal year end to qualify for these customer cash incentives.
Hi, honey.
Hey, how's your checkup?
Fine.
Really?
Yeah, the heart's good.
And your cholesterol?
Good. You know, the doctor said the healthy diet is paying off.
See? You better keep eating those Cheerios.
As part of a heart-healthy diet, the FDA says soluble fiber from whole grain oat foods like Cheerios may reduce the risk of heart disease. Cheerios is the only leading ready-to-eat cereal that meets this FDA standard.
I always knew you had a good heart. You do? Mm. That's why I married you.
I thought you married me because I was good looking.
The one and only Cheerios.
CEO Michael Magaman has a good shot at making Armour Golf the top-ranked golf brand in the world.
Looks like he's staying with Crown Plaza here.
That's a good call. Well, the more you stay at Crown Plaza hotels and resorts anywhere in the world, the better they get to know you. That helps you work and helps you relax.
Par for the course at Crown Plaza.
Let's see how Michael's doing. Crown Plaza hotels and resorts. Get to know us. We'll get to know you.
Crown Plaza, Nashua. 886-1200.
Honey Nut Cheerios, and they're all for me.
Nobody can say no to Honey Nut Cheerios. No, you can't say no to the Honey Nut O's in Honey Nut Cheerios.
With real golden honey and toasty, crunchy O's, they're absolutely irresistible.
Nobody can say no to the Honey Nut O's in Honey Nut Cheerios. No, you can't say no to the Honey Nut Cheerios.
Everybody loves this stuff.
Candlepin Skins is brought to you in part by Tri-State Megabucks. And now with Mega Cash. Choose your dream.
On the left, Rich Lotti working on a strike. Mike Giusti will throw second. A $25 skin here in the sixth, and that close to a double. How did he miss the 5-pin? Wow.
A couple pieces of wood slid in front of that 5, but nothing touched it. Now he's got to try to get by those 2 pieces of wood, I would think.
Or hope for a good deflection off the wall. No, he got it.
Drove it right straight through.
Nice recovery by Mike Giusti after the half Worcester.
Rich Lotti will take the lead in the total pinfall race.
But only 13 pins separating first from fourth right now. Rich Lotti has caught fire here, Dan. He's got 4 marks in the last 5 boxes.
Dave and Rich are the ones who have taken all the skins so far.
And Rich leads for this one. Jeff Atkins. Just caught the head pin, and look at the action.
Just hit it light enough to keep a lot of pins in play, and they did a lot of damage going down. Right.
Meanwhile, that's the opposite. All of the head pin drove it straight back.
1, 5, and 9 for Dave.
There's the spare to create the carryover. And work still to go for Dave Purcell. Nice 10 box for Dave, but he is running 4th right now at 64 through 6. The carryover with spares makes this 7th box worth $55. And Mike Giusti will throw first. Rich Lotti. Oops.
Oh boy, just like Dave, 1, 5, and 9. Spread eagle plus the 8-pin left.
Well, Mike Giusti studying this one. Right now, it requires a cut shot on the 3 over to the 7, but he does have a piece of wood in the back.
You never know how that's going to react if it comes into play at all. No, just missed the 3-pin.
Well, we just saw Dave Purcell get out of that leave with a 10. We'll see what Rich Lotti does here now.
There you go with that wood.
Wow. $10 for Mike.
Oh, boy.
And Rich has to settle for 5, and of course that was after a 3 fill on a spare. About his first mistakes of the day.
Just when you thought he might just build up a sizable lead, the spare 3-5 box negates that, as Doug said, that spare. So he comes right back to the pack, and Dave puts up a strike.
Fell the right way for him. His second strike. It'll be good enough to win the skin unless Jeff can match it. Oh. Wow, that close. Make it a $55 skin for Dave Purcell. Oh, and Jeff misses the single. When those happen, you just hope that they don't come back to haunt you at the end of the day. In spite of the miss, Jeff is still in first place in total pinfall. Here's the strike by Dave Purcell.
And that 4-pin falls backwards. Touches a piece of wood, who takes the 9. The 8, rather.
Good first ball by Rich Lotti. He almost got a backdoor strike. Leaves the 2-pin. And let's see. 2 9-pin drops. 2 loud 9-pin drops.
Rich Lotti first. Oh,
uh-oh.
Just sliding by that piece of wood. And Mike misfires.
Oh,
so,
my.
2 great opportunities for Marks.
Wow, how often does that happen, Dan? We've just seen 3 consecutive bowlers miss single pins for spares. Jeff, then Mike, and then Rich.
Dave's got it down. Throw a strike. You don't have to miss single pins. Now, Jeff Atkins in the 8th.
Coming back after his missed single.
The 4 horsemen to the right plus the 7-pin.
Now Dave on the strike.
He'll have just the 2, 4, and 7. Couple pieces of wood out in front. Good opportunity for a spare. Remember, there's a pair of 10s up.
Uh-oh. Jeff kind of groaned when he let that one go. He knew he had missed it.
I think Dave has got to watch this front piece of wood because it's out in front of the second piece. It might fly on him. Oh, he went by the front piece. Good piece of strategy there by Dave and gives him the skin.
$30. And Jeff Atkins takes a 10, but probably figures he should have had a spare. Dave Purcell got one to win the skin. Dave's up to $150 already. $30 skin in the 9th. Still been Dave and Rich winning all the skins to this point. Wow, Mike Giusti thought he was going to have a half Worcester. He started to put 2 fingers up. Instead, he has only 2 pins standing. And so does Rich Lotti.
Well, that's because he couldn't put up 7 because he only has 5 fingers on a hand.
All right, take it back. He had 3 pins standing. He had the 9 in the back.
Rich Lotti for the spare.
Mike Giusti has hit a little dry spell here. That's 5 open boxes in a row. Meanwhile, Rich Lotti has 5 marks to lead all bowlers here. Dave Purcell now to fill a spare. He has 4 marks.
And he's threatening to take over the lead now from Jeff Atkins. Ooh, pulled it to the left. He's got a break, though. Missed badly to the left, but left himself just the 1, 8, 9 and a couple pieces of wood that should help.
Jeff Atkins. Again, just clipping that head pin. Leaving the 7, 8 and a tough piece of wood in front. Spare leads for the skin. And wow, nothing happening on the 9-pin for Dave. Let's see if Jeff can cause a carryover here. No, that piece of wood was doomed in front.
You called that one. And Jeff seemed to let up on the ball a little bit, trying to slow the ball down so the pin didn't fly on him, but it still did.
So that's a $30 skin for Rich Lotti. 10 boxes for both Dave and Jeff. And the scores continue very, very tight here.
And it continues the Dave and Rich show as far as the skins go.
$75 skin now here in the 10th. Rich Lotti. Just a tiny bit full, and that might have created the split.
But he's got a decent spare leave in the 4 and 6 because of the wood. Actually, I think that's a 2-pin, 2 and 6 with the wood there. It should be no problem if he can catch the 2. Oh, he missed the 2, but the wood behind the 2-pin helped him.
On
Mike,
the single,
spare.
yes. He had missed a single 2 boxes earlier. He covers this one, and we have 2 spares up already. Here's Rich Lotti's spare. Hit the wood instead of the 2-pin, which is what he wanted to do. So deservedly so here, a $75 skin. It'll take a strike to win it. These two guys stay up, of course, to fill their marks, and Rich Lotti with just 3. And Mike Giusti with another solid 9 drop. A 116 for Mike, a 126 for Rich Lotti. Either Dave or Jeff could take the pinfall lead with a big mark.
But regardless of what happens, all 4 bowlers still very, very much in the race for the total pinfall.
Jeff Atkins has cashed in the last 3 weeks. Has yet to do so today, and almost could have gotten himself $75 with a strike there.
He's had some big 9-pin drops. Can't quite carry that last pin.
Uh-oh. Well, we're going to have a carryover into game 2. Jeff Atkins hoping to bounce back from a missed single of his own earlier. And he gets this one. He used all of it. And almost a spare ball for Dave Purcell. Well, Dave is going to be 3rd, most likely, going into game 2. Jeff Atkins has a chance to take the lead when he fills his spare. There's a 10 for Dave for 121. Jeff Atkins is at 120 plus a ball. And here it is. Big 8 drop, and Jeff Atkins does indeed take the lead, but very, very close here after game 1. All the skins money has gone to Rich Lotti and Dave Purcell to this point, but Jeff Atkins leads in total pinfall, and we will have a $95 carryover skin when we start game 2 after these messages.
Hey, how's your checkup?
Fine.
Really?
Yeah, heart's good.
And your cholesterol?
Good. You know, the doctor said the healthy diet is paying off.
See? You better keep eating those Cheerios.
As part of a heart-healthy diet, the FDA says soluble fiber from whole grain oat foods like Cheerios may reduce the risk of heart disease. Cheerios is the only leading ready-to-eat cereal that meets this FDA standard.
I always knew you had a good heart. You do? That's why I married you.
I thought you married me because I was good looking.
The one and only Cheerios.
What did you expect, a stretch limo? Way I grew up, I learned the value of a dollar. You might say it was pounded into me. Today, I still want to be sure to get my money's worth. That's why I keep telling you to come into Meineke. You'll always get high-quality brakes and professional service at a down-to-earth price. I guess you could say I'm your average Joe.
No, George, I'm your average Joe.
At Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Hi, honey.
Hey, how's your checkup?
Fine.
Really?
Yeah, heart's good.
And your cholesterol?
Good. You know, the doctor said the healthy diet is paying off.
See? You better keep eating those Cheerios.
As part of a heart-healthy diet, the FDA says soluble fiber from whole grain oat foods like Cheerios may reduce the risk of heart disease. Cheerios is the only leading ready-to-eat cereal that meets this FDA standard.
I always knew you had a good heart. You do? That's why I married you.
I thought you married me because I was good looking.
The one and only Cheerios.
Well, as we've been mentioning, game one, money-wise, dominated by Dave Purcell and Rich Lotti, winning all the cash so far. Jeff and Mike still hoping to get on the board, and Mike Giusti will throw the first ball of game two as we continue here from Pilgrim Lanes. Mike Giusti throwing a spare in the 10th. But not happy with the ball he just threw there, off to the left.
Rich is going to shoot at the 3 and 7. Mike misfires to the left. It still leaves the 4 horsemen.
By the way, we were talking about Rich Lotti's 9-week streak here on Candlepin Skins. That was back, started in December of 1994, and he was here until mid-February of 95. And in the 9th week, Dan, I know you remember this very well. Both bowlers roll 9s. Remember, this is a $95 carryover skin. In the 9th week, Rich Lotti made a furious comeback. He marked in 6 of the last 8 boxes, but wound up just 8 pins out of second place. Bob Kelly just edged him out, or he would have been able to extend his streak further. So a $95 skin up for grabs here.
And just a pair of 9s up there.
And, well, not really spare leave for Jeff, but not really for either bowler. But Dave certainly got the easier of the two, and he makes it. Well, that could be worth some cash here in a second.
Yeah, I was going to say, it makes Jeff's a little tougher.
Yes, indeed. $95 for Dave Purcell. Puts him up at $245. Jeff Atkins takes a 10. Let's take another look at that spare. This is not an easy shot.
No, 2, 4, 5, 7. Made it look easy, though.
And that helps Dave also in the pinfall situation. He was third coming into this second game, but of course, very close, just 12 pins separating first place from last place as we started this second game. $20 skin now here in the second. And splits for both Rich Lotti and Mike Giusti.
Oh. Rich has a tendency when he approaches the foul and he fades to the left at the last step, and that has a tendency to want to throw the ball to the right. He's just missing the head pin.
And Rich will take an 8. So will Mike. So they match each other again and leave the door open for Dave and Jeff.
Well, Dave's been able to close the door a number of times. He just have it in his way so far. Dave lost the pin. I think he knows that, and he's going to have to reset.
So he'll re-rack, and Jeff Atkins will throw first on lane 4.
It's the beauty of the skins game. Of course, Jeff Atkins was leading with total pinfall, but he had no skin money.
Wow.
And I would say it's not going to happen here in the second box either. 1, 5, and 8 pins are out of there for Jeff.
Dave. On his spare now.
Oh,
sorry,
boy.
Dan. 8 drop.
Where's the justice there? Jeff hits the head pin, gets 3. Dave misses it, drops 8.
And a chance for another skin for Dave. Remember, 8 leads for it right now.
He catches the head pin, though the wood should help him on the 9.
Got it. $20 more for Dave Purcell. And just a 6 box for Jeff Atkins. So Dave Purcell making a serious run here in the early going of game 2.
Remember, the running total is down on the bottom for every box that's bowled in the second game, plus the first game total. They're all there for you. Follow along with the total pinfall race.
We've rolled 12 boxes in this match, and of the 12 skins, Dave Purcell has 9 of them. Rich Lotti has the other 3.
One, 8, 9 left for Rich. Dave's going to shoot at Mike, I should say. 4 horsemen.
A little high on it.
Yeah, a little full.
Oh, almost. Oh, what a great try for Rich Lotti. I think it was that head pin that just danced right in front of the 8. He just missed it. And it'll be a 9. So for the third box in a row, Mike and Rich match each other. And let's check that spare attempt by Rich Lotti. Watch the head pin.
Just in front of the 9.
Now Dave Purcell. Off to a great start here in game 2. He's got 2 marks in a row. Saw the money he's won already. And another great hit. He needs a break, though.
Oh.
Doesn't get it.
He's got the 5-10, and they're both rocking back and forth.
But the only break he got there is that he got a pin over in the channel by the 10. That's about the only thing he has to work with.
Jeff is saying, I got a chance here. Let's see. It's not going to be easy with him either.
9's creating carryover right now. Well, Dave can make the 2 singles. He might have himself another skin.
That's right. Jeff's going to have at least to get the 2 in the corner, plus he needs that wood to grab another one. It's looking better for Dave if he can corral the 10 pin.
Just has to watch out for the dead wood in the channel, and he got it. And that is yet another $20 skin for Dave Purcell.
Increases his total pinfall lead, as you can see now, to 14 over Jeff and 15 over Rich. Not far behind Mike, just 25.
Those scores at the bottom of the screen, the cumulative 2-game totals, so that you can keep track of where everybody is. $25 skin here in the 4th, and Rich Lotti. Possibilities there. And Mike Giusti gets a break on the 7, but not on the 5. Rich and Mike just hoping to break the drought here. Neither one is marked in game 2. Nope. They will remain open. And it's a 9 box for Rich Lotti. And a 10 for Mike Giusti.
Okay, how's this for a story? You know how popular our shows are.
Yeah.
Well, I have a customer in Concord, New Hampshire, Bob Landry, who tapes his shows. Now, guess where he sends them?
We've heard of people who tape the show and send them all over the country.
Well, this one's sent way up in northern Maine, 1 hour north of Caribou, Madawaska.
I have spent a weekend in Madawaska.
You're kidding.
Honest to God.
Wow. Well, he tapes 5 or 6 shows and sends them up to his dad up in Madawaska, Maine. And it's the Cougars. They watch it at Dick's Bowling Alley. 1 hour north of Caribou. That's a big state, the state of Maine.
I'll tell you what. Oh, big strike for Dave Purcell, and he's got himself another skin. As he is just on fire right now. And Jeff can't buy a break. Well, Dave has done everything he possibly can do here to take over this match. He is now at $310 in skins money. Jeff takes a 10. Nobody else has a mark in this second game except for Dave Purcell.
Wow. Here's a strike in the 1-3 pocket. 3/4 a night head pin, and just a matter of time before the 5 pin gets out of there.
Well,
so anyways, hi Cougars up in Madawaska, Maine.
Absolutely. That was back in high school. I spent a weekend on a... Oh, there's a strike for Mike Giusti in the 5th, breaking his long drought.
And that has a chance to have a skin for somebody other than Rich and Dave. Right now, anybody other than Dave. So tell me about Madawaska.
Well, I believe it was my junior year of high school. I spent a weekend up there with about, must have been 40 or 50 other kids. We were on a
It's either detention or up there or what?
Hey, we got a tour of the paper mills up there and everything. We had a great old time.
It's a great. I'm only kidding. I got a lot of friends up in Maine. It's great country.
There's the strike for Mike Giusti. Rich Lotti had to settle for 6 bucks. And now Dave Purcell working on a strike. So for Bob and his family up in his family members up in Madawaska, Maine, I'm familiar with the territory.
Oh! Look at this guy. Is he on fire or what? He steals the skin from Mike.
And not only that, it's a double strike. Almost had 3 in that 5th box.
Dave just doesn't want anyone else to have any of the Skins money. I think Mike's asking him where his car is parked in the parking lot.
And if I recall, roughly from the Boston area, the bus ride up to Madawaska, Maine was in the neighborhood of 12 to 13 hours.
Wow.
A spare for Jeff Atkins and a much-needed spare for him. But look at all the Daves in that right-hand column. He got a carryover in the 5th, but he has won all the Skins money that's been won here in Game 2, and he has a sizable lead in total pinfall. We'll be back.
There is power in a dream, and every hour a dreamer is born. Just imagine the friends we made, the lives we touched, the glory days. 10 years of dreams, 10 years of dreams, 10 years of dreams come true.
Hi, honey.
Hey, how's your checkup?
Fine.
Really?
Yeah, the heart's good.
And your cholesterol?
Good. You know, the doctor said the healthy diet is paying off.
See? You better keep eating those Cheerios.
As part of a heart-healthy diet, the FDA says soluble fiber from whole grain oat foods like Cheerios may reduce the risk of heart disease. Cheerios is the only leading ready-to-eat cereal that meets this FDA standard.
I always knew you had a good heart. You do? That's why I married you.
I thought you married me because I was good looking.
The one and only Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios, and they're all for me.
Nobody can say no to Honey Nut Cheerios. No, no, you can't say no to the Honey Nut O's in Honey Nut Cheerios.
With real golden honey and toasty crunchy O's, they're absolutely irresistible.
Nobody can say no to the Honey Nut O's in Honey Nut Cheerios. No, no, you can't say no to the Honey Nut Cheerios.
Everybody loves this stuff.
Well, Rich Lotti on the left and Mike Giusti on the right, running 3rd and 4th right now in total pinfall and needing to make something happen as Dave Purcell is threatening to lap the field, and Jeff Atkins at the moment has 2nd place with a markup, and that won't help Rich Lotti, who's been open 5 boxes in a row. By the way, we talked about Rich's 9-week run back in 94 and 95. He also had a 4-week run last year here on Candlepin Skins.
Mike almost threw a double strike, not quite the conventional way though. He leaves just the head pin standing for a spare.
Got it.
That helps his cause a little bit. Puts him ahead now of Jeff Atkins, temporarily anyways.
And Rich will have to settle for an 8. He is at just 49 through 6 here in Game 2. Well, Jeff Atkins working on that spare. He can keep pace with Mike Giusti in that race for 2nd. And then Dave Purcell will be shooting for a triple strike.
Well, Jeff knows what it's like to fight for that 2nd spot. He's done that several weeks up until last week where he came in 1st. Big 9-pin drop for Jeff. Now big ball for Dave. Remember, a spare up by Mike leads for the Skin.
Dave Purcell up off target this time. One of the few times he's been off target. Not only that, but just 4 on the first ball of the double strike, which somewhat negates the effect of the double. Jeff Atkins converts another single pin for a spare.
Oh boy, just 6 on the 2nd strike.
And we have a carryover with the spares already, of course. Mike and Jeff, and a 7 fill for Dave Purcell. He's still in the overall lead, though, with a comfortable margin, 22 pins, but Jeff Atkins has a spare up, so does Mike Giusti. This is a carryover Skin now. 3rd carryover, actually, $80 worth here in the 7th. Big first ball and a strike for Mike Giusti. 3 marks in a row for Mike. Strike, spare, strike. And Rich Lotti has just lost the formula here.
Yeah, he's a little out of sync right now. Really fighting it.
He had 6 marks in game 1, but nothing so far here in game 2. And Rich will settle for another 8. There's Mike Giusti, comfortable with his strike on lane 4.
He was throwing some strikes in warm-up, too, before the show started. And the last 3 boxes, he's thrown 2. Sandwiched on both sides of a spare.
Well, this is shaping up as a pretty good 3-way battle right now. Rich Lotti is getting left behind a little bit at this point. Mike Giusti will win his first skin of the day if he survives Jeff Atkins' first ball. And he does. So for the first time today, somebody other than Rich or Dave wins a skin, as Mike Giusti is on board for $80. Mike Giusti may also take over second place here.
He won't be far out of the lead either.
$9 for Dave Purcell. And a 9 for Jeff Atkins. So the $80 skin goes to Mike Giusti. But check those scores at the bottom now. Dave Purcell at 223, but not out of the woods yet because he's got 2 guys chasing him.
Yeah, I would say he want to put another mark up there on the board just to ensure things.
Oh my!
That's the Rich Lotti we know. Boy, Mike missing badly to the left, but he's working on a strike.
Oh, how about it?
Yes, got the spare. What a recovery.
4 marks in a row for Mike Giusti. Let's take a look at the strike by Rich Lotti. If Rich were to throw another one the next time up.
He's almost going to have to if he wants any shot at catching second place. Right now, Jeff Atkins is in the fight of his life, as well as Dave.
$30 skin here in the 8th. Spare and a strike already up on the board. Jeff Atkins will have a spare leave. And Dave Purcell will as well. He's made that shot already over on the other side.
And give the skin to Rich Lotti.
Right, for $30. And Jeff does not get the spare. Well, that could prove very costly.
He's 15 pins behind Dave. And now Dave puts a spare up. That's going to make things real tough for Jeff.
And Jeff takes 9.
He's 5 pins behind Mike Giusti, but Mike has a spare working.
Here's that spare by Dave Purcell. Second time he's made that leave, once on each side.
It's 3, 5, 6, and 10. Big ball for Mike. Working on a spare in the 8th.
He's got 4 marks in a row.
Oh boy. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Just 4.
No, he got 4. It's about a couple pins more than he thought he was going to get. Rich Lotti working on a strike, and boy, that's the way it's gone for him today. 1, 5, and 8. Just 4 on the strike.
$9 for Mike Giusti. And Rich takes 7. So Rich is just really having a game to forget here in game 2 after a pretty good game 1. 126. Above his average, but in the second game it just hasn't happened for Rich. Meanwhile, Dave Purcell, working on a spare in first place, has won $310, as you see.
And he could big fill here, and I take that back. It's still anybody's ball game for the first 2 spots.
Barely had a chance to get the words out.
Jeff really needs to put up a mark. Remember, a 9-box leads for the skin. He's off target. Let's see what he ends up with. Well, possibilities there. 1, 2, 8, 6, and 10.
Well, Dave's going to have to be careful he doesn't have a bad box, but
Mike Giusti might be in first place, depending on what Dave does with this ball. Oh, boy, it's 2 in a row now that Jeff looked like he hit him, but no spare to show for it.
By the way, 9 leads for the skin right now. Keep an eye on that, a $30 skin.
And Jeff can pick up and be his first skin, I believe.
He does with a 10-box. So Jeff may be in doubt as far as advancing with total pinfall, but he does win his first skin of the day in the 19th box of the match.
Well, he's only a mark away from Mike Giusti at 235. He's 227. Dave leads still with 242.
And Rich Lotti is just hoping to keep himself in the running for the last skin of the day, which is worth $75. And Mike Giusti with another huge 9-drop. He has just caught fire here in the last 5-6 boxes.
Well, if he was to get this, Jeff would have to throw a double strike to catch him.
And Rich just can't get a break. There's the spare for Mike Giusti, which is going to make it very difficult for Jeff Atkins. A 10-box for Rich Lotti, but he'll want to forget today. A total of 214 for Rich.
Mike would want to get anything over, say, 3 pins to force Jeff to get a double strike.
Oh, there it is.
That's over 3.
Yeah, that would be it. 138 for Mike Giusti for a 2-game total of 254. He'll just have to wait and see if that's enough. Jeff Atkins will need 27 pins, as you see, in the last box to tie him.
Well, he's probably closer to Dave.
Right, especially if Dave doesn't mark, but he'll probably still need a double strike.
Right.
Spare leads for the last skin of the day. Remember, if we have a carryover, all 4 bowlers will continue in the first extra box.
Well, that kind of assures that Mike and Dave will come back with Jeff not throwing the strike. Now we got to settle the skin.
Well, spare leads for it, and not an easy shot for Dave either.
There's a couple other bowlers rooting for him right now.
Yes, he gets it to create the carryover. We'll have at least 1 more box to settle that last skin. Jeff Atkins wraps up his total pinfall at a 108 and 236. Here's that spare by Dave Purcell. Dave Purcell can finish first with a 3 fill or more on this spare. That would be more than 3, a 7 fill, a 138, and a 2-game total of 259. So Dave Purcell finishes first. Mike Giusti finishes second with a 254. And we move on with our extra box to settle this final skin, which is worth $75.
Remember, now we're in a situation that only the bowlers remain tied for the skin continue.
But they're all alive for the moment. Uh-oh, Mike lost that one. Mike can laugh about it, though, because he made a nice comeback in that second game.
He certainly did. And that's the way Rich's day is gone.
Wow.
Looked like he hit that one. Get a 10, fellas, if you can.
Yeah. There it is for Mike. He makes the 4 horsemen. And Rich Lotti makes his 10. So they could both still be alive if nobody gets a mark.
Has Jeff thrown a strike yet?
Jeff has not thrown a strike today.
That's amazing, because he has some big 9-pin drops, so wouldn't surprise me. And David's been throwing strikes all day long, so.
Jeff has had 5 9-pin drops on the day.
Well, it's not going to be a strike unless it comes back. He's just got a feeling that Dave is going to throw one. He's done it all day.
Oh, my. I tell you what, 10s could be good here. Unless one of these guys converts a spare. Oh, no for Jeff.
No, it's an important pin for Jeff to stay alive.
And for Dave to stay alive, he's going to have to make a shot. Let's see if Jeff can stay with it here. He does with the 10 box. So that's 3 guys continuing, maybe all 4. Let's see. Nope. So Dave wins total pinfall, but he is out of the last skin. We will go to a second extra box to settle our final skin of the day. Mike, Rich, and Jeff all with 10s in the first extra box. Rich Lotti fires first. Boy, Mike throws that ball hard.
He does.
He hasn't slowed down much today.
And he'll shoot at the 2-4-7 with the 6-pin. Rich Lotti, 4 horsemen plus the 8. Oh, just missed that head pin. No, I'd get this pin, Rich.
There it is,
Back
10
up for
bucks.
another 10.
And Mike will be out with an 8. Well, we had a lot of marks in this show, but none in overtime yet. Dave Purcell, of course, is already out of it. So we'll see if Jeff Atkins can either keep it going with a 10 box or win it outright with a mark. Dave Purcell can safely sit back. He already knows that he's the pinfall winner and the big skins money winner of the day. And there is another 9 drop for Jeff Atkins. His 6th 9 drop of the day. If he converts this one, he'll win the last skin. And there it is. So Jeff Atkins will take a little extra prize money home as a consolation. And we will come back to settle up all the scores and the prize money winnings on Candlepin Skins after these words.
Honey Nut Cheerios, and they're all for me.
Nobody can say no to Honey Nut Cheerios. No, you can't say no to the Honey Nut O's in Honey Nut Cheerios.
With real golden honey and toasty crunchy O's, they're absolutely irresistible.
Nobody can say no to the Honey Nut O's in Honey Nut Cheerios. No, you can't say no to the Honey Nut Cheerios.
Everybody loves this stuff.
Hi, honey.
Hey, how's your checkup?
Fine.
Really?
Yeah, the heart's good.
And your cholesterol?
Good. You know, the doctor said the healthy diet is paying off.
See? You better keep eating those Cheerios.
As part of a heart-healthy diet, the FDA says soluble fiber from whole grain oat foods like Cheerios may reduce the risk of heart disease. Cheerios is the only leading ready-to-eat cereal that meets this FDA standard.
I always knew you had a good heart.
You do?
That's why I married you.
I thought you married me because I was good looking.
The one and only Cheerios.
Great battle here on Candlepin Skins. Dave Purcell, our total pinfall winner at 259, just 5 pins ahead of Mike Giusti. They both advance. Jeff Atkins and Rich Lotti are eliminated. In terms of pinfall, well, Dave Purcell, or rather in terms of skins money, Dave Purcell is the big winner there too, $310. Everybody else gets on the board, but Dave Purcell, the story, especially in that second game with a 138. He finished second last week, but he gets the top spot this week.
He's real stingy. He doesn't want to give any of those skins away, and I thought he was going to win all of them.
He'll be back for his 3rd week in a row next week. Of course, Mike Giusti will return as well, and we hope you will too. But don't forget, tomorrow at noon here on the Winds of New England, it's Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole crew, I'm Doug Brown. Have a good weekend.